Hi, this is Norman and Linda. They own this 1930 Graham, and they're going to take us for a ride and show us a little bit about this car. Okay, Norm, you want to explain some things to us?
Well, the reason why I like old cars is because I like to share. And this was my family's car when I was a little kid, about 3 or 4 years old. And the reason why I started making parts is because I need some parts for this car. And to my knowledge, I've never seen another car just like this one. But I needed a body for my carburetor here, so I made that about 15 years ago because the original pot metal went bad. And then up here I needed a pulley wheel that goes on the crankshaft, so I made that. And then recently I made this here conduit pipe to hold all the spark plug wires because that was missing. And I recently elongated the hole so I could get the spark plug wires in easier because with just a round hole it was too hard to get them in.
Can you start this for us now so we can watch the fan belt move and all that?
Oh, well sure, I can start that. Let me get in here. You have to make sure the spark advance is retarded. And then you move out of the way. Linda, move. The parking brake isn't that great. Just a little bit. Push the spark advance button back in. As it starts running. I had to make this gasket here because it blows out sometimes when I'm operating the spark advance retarder when it's cold. The backfire takes time to blow it out, so that's you're making that. Okay, John? Now we're going to turn on the air conditioner. I like this air conditioning far better than to do the modern ones in my modern car.
You ever get bugs caught in your teeth driving this thing?
Well, not necessarily in my teeth, but in my mouth. When I go around a sharp turn.
Extra protein, right?
Yeah, that's it. In case the wife didn't give me enough supper.
Yeah.
Now my oil pressure is kind of high because it's cold, and I have 20/50 weight oil in for the summertime that the owner's manual calls for.
Do all your gauges work?
All of them work except the gas gauge. I just need to put some red liquid in there because it works on the air pressure rather than electricity. Now we get 21 miles to go. Let me know if it gets too cold for you in here.
Okay. So, have you gone any long trips in this car?
Yes, I have. I drove out to Auburn, Indiana twice for the Graham Owners Club meet back in '77. Didn't have any problems.
You usually just drive it in the summertime, though, correct?
Usually I do, but a few times I drove it in the wintertime with experience in the snow to see what it would do, and it didn't have any problems. But I normally do not drive it in the wintertime.
Do you know the statistics on this car? Like how many horsepower it is?
It has 74 horsepower, six-cylinder engine.
6 cylinders. Did your family? They didn't buy this new in 1930, did they?
No, they did not. My uncle bought it in 1945. It was sitting in a garage, looking brand new, sitting up on blocks. He drove it for 1 year and then sold it to my dad in 1946. And then my dad quit driving in 1951. And then in 1956 I got interested in old cars. I was 14 years old, didn't have a driver's license, and asked if I could have the car. My parents were divorced, and he gave it to me because it was a piece of junk. It didn't run, you couldn't get parts. And everybody said I was crazy. I waited 18 years to get it running because I had to make some parts, and I'm glad I'm crazy. I put 32,000 miles on it since I got it running.
So you drove it all the way out? You said to Indiana?
Yeah, Auburn, Indiana. Twice.
Is that
1,700 mile round trip. And while I was out there, I took the son of one of the 3 grandbrothers for a ride in the car, and his grandson, and also a test engineer by the name of J. Scott McKibben. He told me he worked for the company when the car was new and kept all these notes. And he also worked for Chrysler. And later on I come to realize that he also was working for Chrysler when they developed the airflow.
This is a pretty smooth riding car. It must be because it's pretty heavy then, right?
It weighed almost 4,000 pounds, and I took it to a scale one time and had it weighed. And they didn't charge me anything because it was an old car rather than a load of product for a cup to sell. As you go around this turn here, this is an Amish farm, and they sell produce here, and a lot of times we buy things here. Here's a one-room Amish schoolhouse. We built it a couple years ago.
How many gallons you going to put in this thing, you think?
And we'll put $10 worth in.
Okay.
High test. Let me bring this first. Queen of England.